Good morning, my boo-boos. Good morning, my lovers. Good morning, TikTok, Instagram, YouTube, BandLab, wherever you find me today. Good morning, good afternoon, happy greetings. Um, this is the face of someone that did not sleep last night. Again, I forgot that it was the 10:10 portal last night. But let's face it, something is afoot. Something is afoot. We are in a great awakening. I believe that with every ounce in my being. We are in the great remembrance. Aho! And as we move into this, there is an invitation. We're never forced to do these things. There is an invitation to experience that which you came here to experience. And that's going to be different for every one of us. So when I share my stories, it is simply to bring awareness or resonance to things that you might be experiencing, which could articulate it or be like, hey, that's happening to me too. I wrote in the group WhatsApp chat today with all the practitioners, did anyone else sleep last night? Did anyone else have a trippy time last night? And so many of us are experiencing seeing light, our vision, like flashes, sensing energies. Anyway, last night in the UK, there was an appearance or a grand display of the Northern Lights. All I saw was street lights and half a moon, and didn't see the lights at all, but people were posting like all their pictures of the Northern Lights, and I was like, oh, I didn't see them. Anyway, went to sleep and then didn't get to sleep, and went again on a lovely little astral travel into all these kind of trippy colours, and I was in the universe, and it felt like awareness itself, knowledge itself, the universe was so excited to speak to me, but I was the universe. So it was like I was having a conversation with myself and God, interconnected, like that beautiful infinity sign. And it's very difficult to articulate, but I'm going to try. Again, it started with me as a body. I was this straight line vessel, and I was anchored on Earth, on this planet. But I was as big as a Barbie doll on, say, a football. So I was kind of on this Earth, and I was aware that my vessel was like touching Earth, and there was like it went out like that kind of shape, out above me, this energy, and everything within that sphere, or that's not sphere, that area within that sort of like a projection going off out of me, was like this crazy psychedelic show. It was like swirling pink clouds turning into blue, turning into fantastic angels with wings, and lights were flashing, and fireworks were going off, and I was standing there as this vessel, this human, just watching like a child in awe at this beauty. And it was just all crescendo. It was dancing. It was like the universe was showing off. The universe was like, look at me, like I'm dancing, I'm twirling like a pirouetting, like when your kids put on tutus and they're just like expressing them. It felt very feminine, it felt very divine, it was a dance, it was very fluid, there was nothing structural about it, and it kept crescendoing and like opening up and falling back down, and it was just like this beauty. And I was just in awe of it, and then I was seeing that it was being projected out of me. So I was like, well, that heaven, that experience, that beauty is being radiated out of me, and but I'm watching it. I was also aware behind me, in the space that existed behind me, it felt like it was dark, but there was this quiet sense of God, like just behind me, almost just smiling, and very different energy. It was like the night, very dark and still and quiet and peaceful, and maybe a few twinkling stars. but the light coming out of me and around me for me to see in my peripheral was beauty and light and color. And I guess it was a bit like yin yang energetically. It was very feminine energy out in front and very sort of sturdy, grounded, beautiful, fatherly type of energy behind me. And as I was standing there, I realized that I, in this vessel, was the grounding force which was able to be on earth yet experience heaven. And heaven was everywhere outside. There was no beginning and no end. It just went out and out and out and out. And I was standing on earth, as I say, but I was also aware that I'm not standing on earth. And I was aware that what we see is what we believe. And so when we're in this body, and yet what we've been taught and programmed to believe is this is real. This is solid matter. I'm sitting on a chair in a house in Surrey on a great rock that's floating. I'm here physically, but really I'm not. I'm everywhere all at once, and whatever I want to experience comes through the lens of my thoughts. And as I was watching it, I was reminded of this time, and this has happened a few times, where it feels like you're walking through a hologram, or you're walking and you're projecting out, essentially as within so without. You're projecting your reality out into the world, so that which you see is a reflection of what is taking place internally. And then I was getting excited, like, well, is that what's going on inside me right now? Because she's having a party. And I was aware that I was in this now place where the constructs and the limitations of believing that this is a pen and it's solid and it exists, it's all just energy, and it's what you bring focus to, it's what you make, it's what you give weight to. I remember being in my old house. I'm going to share this in the group on Monday as well. I'm going to be talking about manifestation and abundance being our birthright. We can create our reality, but it's all about getting over those belief systems in your mind that something is set in stone or something is real and impenetrable. There is a verse of scripture that says, with faith of a mustard seed, you can move a mountain. And I always used to be like, how on earth can you move mountains? Like, it's a solid, it's a structure that is immovable. And as I was having this last night, I was like, nothing is immovable. Nothing is impossible. In fact, you can tear down a city with your thoughts. Quite literally, you could tear down the city with your thoughts. We're that powerful. And so when we're walking through life and we have desires and we meet an obstacle, that obstacle is an opportunity for you to expand your consciousness, to realize, what do you believe? And it's like, I don't know, being told no and me saying yes. It's very similar to dancing on the waves. It's very similar to I don't live in the boat. I don't adhere to the structures and people saying, in order for you to be on this earth, you have to have a 9-to-5 job. You got to do X, Y, Z. This is just the way it is. House, mortgage, blah, blah, blah. No, thank you. Not for me. I'm here as some sort of like expressive being that wants to break out and help others break out of that, to realize that we are great manifestors of our own reality. And if we would just understand the power of thought, we can change the world. And I can see that I've already run out of time, so I might have to do a second half. Let me do that now.